The power grid has been down for 3 days. Your neighborhood watch collapsed after the second night of screaming. There's a man 2 blocks away sitting on his roof with binoculars, and you know he's not looking for birds. The police stopped answering calls yesterday. Your Ring doorbell is now just a dead plastic circle, and you got maybe 30 minutes of daylight left before things get worse. Take a breath. We're turning your quiet suburban house into a hardened position using duct tape, determination, and whatever junk you already own. Here's the truth. Your front door is held together by screws barely longer than a fingernail. The strike plate, the little metal slot your deadbolt slides into, is mounted to decorative trim with screws that wouldn't stop a determined house cat. One kick, and your secure entry point becomes an invitation. But the collapse has one upside. Hardware stores are either picked clean or wide open, which means you're about to get creative with what you already have. Grab your drill. Find the longest screws you own, 3-inch or 4-inch ones. Remove the tiny half-inch screws from your strike plate and hinges. Replace them with the long ones and drive them deep into the studs behind the trim. Now your door frame isn't suggestion. It's part of the house's skeleton. If someone kicks it now, the force transfers straight into solid framing. They will hurt themselves before they break through. You just bought yourself 3 minutes of kicking resistance for the price of 6 screws. Now fix the hinges. Same process. Long screws in every hole. A smart intruder attacks the hinge side, not the lock side. They pop the pins, lift the door, and walk in. Not anymore. Your hinges are now bolted into the bones of the wall. They would need power tools and 20 minutes. Next, barricade the door. Grab the wooden closet dowel you haven't touched since 2019. Wedge it diagonally from the door handle to the floor. If you don't have a dowel, use a broomstick, a chair, a mop, or even that decorative paddle you bought from Home Goods. Everything becomes a tool. Windows are next. Windows are not security features. They are vulnerabilities wrapped in hope. Cover every ground floor window with duct tape in a crisscross grid. Untapped glass cracks and explodes. Taped glass spiderwebs stays in the frame and turns into a sticky, jagged mess. Anyone trying to push through will shred their arms, and the noise will give them away. Now push heavy furniture against the windows. Dressers, bookshelves, the treadmill you use as a clothing rack. Even if they break the glass, they face a 200-pound obstacle. Noise, time, and effort, the 3 things intruders hate most. Keep your curtains closed. Not because you're hiding, but because they shouldn't see what you have where you are or whether you're armed. Uncertainty is a weapon. Let them wonder. Sliding doors are architectural jokes. Most can be lifted right off the track. Cut a broom handle or a 2x4 to fit perfectly in the bottom track, so the door cannot slide. Take it further. Drill a downward hole through the sliding frame into the fixed frame. Drop a nail or bolt through the hole. Now the door is pinned in place. To remove it, they would have to drill it out, which is loud and slow. Smear the exterior handle with grease, oil, or expired mayonnaise. It's disgusting but very effective. The sun is gone. The screaming outside starts again. Let them come. They are expecting a soft target. They are about to be very disappointed. Your garage door is next. It can be opened in 6 seconds with a wire hanger. An intruder slips the hanger through the top gap, hooks the emergency release, and pulls. Once they're in the garage, they're practically inside your home. Zip tie the release handle tightly. Use several ties. You can still break it in an emergency, but a hanger won't. Unplug the opener. No power means no automatic lift. They would have to raise a heavy door manually, which is loud and obvious. If possible, park a car inside. Even if the door opens, they meet a 2-ton obstacle. Now we move to psychological warfare. Security is not just physical. It is mental. You want them thinking, not this house. Start with a fake dog. You don't need to own one. Place a huge metal water bowl outside. Throw a torn rope toy in the yard. Clip a heavy chain to the fence. Hang a beware of dog sign with a mean-looking silhouette. Even a 10% chance of dog is enough to make most criminals move on. Next, leave large muddy boots by the door, size 13 or bigger. They suggest someone strong lives there. They don't need to know you're a 5'2" accountant. Leave a radio on. Talk radio works best. Voices suggest people. People suggest witnesses. Witnesses suggest risk. Use light timers. Not everywhere, just enough to make it look like someone is walking through the house. Living room on and off. Bedroom on. Kitchen off. Movement equals presence. Now the perimeter. Dump gravel beneath windows and along pathways. No one can walk on gravel quietly. Every step becomes an alarm. Drag thorny plants under the windows. Rose bushes. Anything with spikes. They tear clothing and skin. No one wants that. Create hazards. A garden hose stretched across a dark walkway. A fake motion sensor with a visible lens. Intruders avoid anything that looks monitored. Finally, the safe room. Pick one room in the house, preferably a bedroom, and reinforce it just like the front door. Long screws. Strong lock. Barricade point. Inside, keep a charged phone, a flashlight, water, snacks, and anything you trust to defend yourself. You might be in there for a while. Create a family code word, something no one would ever say by accident. When it's spoken, everyone goes straight to the safe room. No hesitation. No questions. Here's why all of this works. You're not trying to build a bunker. You're trying to be more trouble than the house next door. Criminals operate on risk and reward. Every obstacle adds risk. Every second adds danger. The 3-minute rule is real. If entry takes longer than 3 minutes, most intruders abandon the attempt. Your reinforced door is 3 minutes of kicking. Your fake dog is instant doubt. Your gravel path is constant noise. Layer enough obstacles together, and the math no longer works in their favor. You're not hoping to survive. You're engineering your survival.